Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As this traveler through the cosmos proceeded on his meditative journey with increased eagerness and a bouquet or noses and faith, ma'rifah and iman. Itself, like a spring, gathers from the garden of the spring there opened before his truth-perceiving intellect, his cognitive reason, the gate to the animal and bird realm. With hundreds of thousands of different voices and various tongues, he was invited to enter. Entering, he saw that all the animals and birds in their different species, groups and nations were proclaiming silently and loud and aloud, there is no God but He, La ilaha illahu, and had thus turned the face of the earth into a vast place of invocation. This is what we call dua, invocation, zikr, an expansive assembly for the proclamation of Allah's glory. He saw each of them to be like an ode dedicated to Allah. It's a kind of poetry. A word proclaiming His glory, a letter indicating His mercy, each of them describing the Maker and offering Him thanks and encomium. So this is praising Allah. It was as if the senses, powers, members, and instruments of those animals and birds were orderly and balanced words, or perfect and disciplined expressions. He observed three great and comprehensive truths indicating in decisive form their offering of thanks to the Creator and Provider and their testimony to His unity. So everything is speaking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala silently or loudly. So there are different types of speaking silently or with their body language, what we call with their tongue of condition, disposition. So birds, they are glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with their voices, with their sounds, but at the same time, their creation is speaking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Silently, they are saying our Creator can be the one who is making us very artfully. Let's see, inshallah, third aspect, in third respect, so we can know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with their tongue. The first, before starting the first, we can read this introduction part one more time. Anyone who wants to read? Danny, would you like to read this introduction part to animals?
From the first, yeah.
As this traveler.
Okay. Auzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As this traveler through the cosmos proceeded on his meditative journey, with increased eagerness and a bouquet of noses and faith, itself like a spring, gathered from the garden of the spring, there opened before his truth-perceiving intellect, his cognitive reason, the gate to the animal and bird realm. With hundreds of thousands of different voices and various tongues, he was invited to enter. Entering, he saw that all the animals and birds in their different species, groups, and nations were proclaiming silently and aloud, "There is no God but He," and had thus turned the face of the earth into a vast place of invocation, an expansive assembly for the proclamation of God's glory. He saw each of them to be like an oath dedicated to God, a word proclaiming His glory, a letter indicating His mercy, each of them describing the Maker and offering Him thanks and encomium. It was as if the senses, powers, members, and instruments of those animals and birds were orderly and balanced words, or perfect and disciplined expressions. He observed three great and comprehensive truths indicating, in decisive form, their offering of thanks to the Creator and Provider, and their testimony to his unity. The first, they're being brought into existence with wisdom and purpose, and their creation full of art, innovation that in no way can be attributed to chance, to blind force, or inanimate nature. They're being created and composed in purposive and knowledgeable manner. Their animation and being given life in a way that displays in 20 aspects the manifestation of knowledge, wisdom, and will. All of this is a truth that bears witness to the necessary existence of the eternally living and self-subsistent. His seven attributes and unity, a witness repeated to the number of all animate beings. The second,
So let's read this first part, first aspect of their being, a proof of the Tawhid, a proof of the existence of the Creator. So they're being brought into existence. They are perfectly brought into existence with wisdom and purpose, and their creation flow art in a fashion that in no way can be attributed to chance, to blind force, or inanimate, lifeless nature. They're being created and composed in purposive and knowledgeable manner. Their animation. So they are given the animals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given spirit like human beings. So they are given spirit, although they are created from lifeless things. So we are observing their creation in front of our eyes. So from the eggs, the birds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creating all the birds and many of the animals. They are created from the eggs. Also the other ones, mammals, they are created from also again egg-like fluid. So what we call the first cell, the first cell of human beings. The animals are created from lifeless particles. So giving them life, giving them a spirit. So their animation being given life in a way that displays in 20 aspects the manifestation of knowledge, wisdom, will. So the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we call life, knowledge, hayat, ilm, sam' and basar, so hearing and seeing, and will, and power, irada, qudra, and speech. For human beings especially, this is relevant. For animals also, some of them are speaking. So this is given to them limitedly to them. So this is showing the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving them life. So they are perfectly sustained. They are perfectly administered. Their spirit perfectly given to their bodies. Like human beings, we can consider. We will come to that point also. So Nursi, he is attracting our attention to the giving life, to giving spirit to these beings, the animals, the birds. So it shows the knowledge, it shows the wisdom, hikmah, will. All of this is a truth that bears witness to the necessary existence of the eternally living, high and self-subsistent, qayyum. So his seven attributes we mentioned, and unity, his wahda, witness repeated to the number of all animate beings, all the living animals. They are witnessing, they are being witnessed, and they become a proof of the Tawhid, proof of the existence of the Wajibul Wujud and Hayy and Qayyum, creator. So their lives cannot be attributed to the blind force, so it cannot be attributed to chance, cannot be work of art of inanimate nature, the particles which are inanimate. So it is the art of the creator of the heavens and the earth. Yes. So the first aspect, I understand, giving us information about the animation, giving life to these, yes, animals and birds. The first aspect is this. If you have any point to share, please, inshallah, feel free to share regarding the first part. Or we can continue with the second. Danny?
Yeah. The second, there appears from the distinction made among those infinite beings and from their adornment and decoration innovation by which their features are different, their shapes adorned, their proportion measured and symmetrical, and their forms well ordered. There appears from this a truth so vast and powerful that none other than the one powerful over all things, the one knowledgeable of all things, could lay claim to it. This comprehensive act, which displays in every respect thousands of wonders and instances of wisdom, it is impossible and precluded that anything other than such a one could lay claim to it. The third,
Yeah,
the
let's
emergence.
discuss, Danny, let's discuss this second. If we go step by step, inshallah, maybe we can understand better, inshallah. Uh, there appears, so this, at first we discussed the animation, giving life to them, showing the creator. The second one, there appears from the distinction made among those infinite beings and from their adornment and decoration in a fashion by which their features are different. So there are many types of birds, there are many types of animals, their shapes adorned. So maybe we come across many documentaries regarding the birds or the animals. They are very colorful, created very beautifully, especially the, so some birds are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making them like a exhibition of art. So showing the beauties Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them perfectly. So their shapes adorned, their proportions measured and symmetrical, and their forms well ordered. There appears from this a truth so vast and powerful, so vast and powerful that none other than the one powerful over all things, the one knowledgeable over of all things, could lay claim to it. So cannot, nothing can own it other than the creator of everything. This comprehensive act, which displays in every respect thousands of wonders and instances of wisdom, it is impossible and precluded that anything other than such such a one could lay claim to it. So it is impossible to attribute, to say that these are done by chance, happened, came into being by chance. So no one can, anyone reasonable, logical can say this. So these are the art of the creator of everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, any comment over this? The art Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing them, the animals, the adornment, decoration, proportion, symmetry on them. Yeah, they're being created very beautifully, very colorful.
In other words, we can say that this is a strong proof, yeah, to reject the theory of evolution.
Yeah, exactly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah, showing many proofs that those things cannot be attributed to themselves. The logical ones, of course, the logical human being who is not prejudged, so cannot claim such a nonsense thing. Of course, the evolution theory is the it's a, yeah, claim of the people who want to deny Allah, who want to deny Creator. So they are sticking to the nonsense thing. So they deceive themselves with that, although it is just a made up theory, made up maybe hypothesis. So nothing can be shown as a proof for that. Yeah, everything, but everything can be the proof of the creator of the heavens and the earth. Yes.
That's true, Jasmine Abi. Actually, if we accept the theory of evolution, then we also have to accept that our DNA and our atoms ourselves have their own will, their own intellect, and their own consciousness to modify themselves here. I think that's impossible.
It may not be enough. They should be like God.
Yeah.
Everything, every particle should be like God, should see the whole universe, should control everything. So Said Nursi, he is mentioning this in the Treatise of Nature. So they should be at the same time ruling and also ruled. Should be dominant, also dominated. So it is so the way of misguidance is like a swamp, cannot be saved. So they should accept impossibilities, maybe endless impossibilities at the same time. So but everything is a proof for the Tawhid. Everything is showing the Creator, his beautiful manifestations, his beautiful asma. Yes. Emin abi, you were saying something, I heard.
No, I didn't say, but I am thinking on a twin person. You know, sometimes we are encountering twin person. We cannot separate each other. In that case, maybe somebody can think they are the same, but this is our viewpoint. Allah never create same also in twins. I think there are many features in human. You know, we are confusing sometimes. Is there any mistake in this creation? Something like that. Hasha. Uh, there are millions of different features in every creature.
Yes, that's being very identical, not only on human twins. It is also, I will return back to that part. Also, the animals. So we cannot distinguish the animals. For example, the same type of dogs, for example, if they are grown with the same conditions, so we cannot distinguish them. So the all kinds of animals, so for example the sheep, the goat, and so on, so they are very identical although they are different. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is creating them very similar. This is relevant for the, so at this part, for the seeds. There are many similar, very similar, identical maybe. Our eyes cannot distinguish it, but they are, one is a type of tree, the other one is a kind of flower. So for example, the seed of the fig seed, fig tree seed. So and the seed of a flower we call menekşe. So I was observing this. Ustad is mentioning is in another part of the tafsir. So they are very identical. Our eyes cannot distinguish, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put into that seed a different program. So when you put it in the soil, and when you put water it in the available conditions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is distinguishing them from one of them is coming forth a tree, another is giving very beautiful flowers by Allah. So this is a miracle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing that human beings with our intelligence, with our perfect qualities, we cannot distinguish them. So in the soil, they are perfectly distinguished. So these particles, the soil particles of the soil, or the particles of that seed, so they cannot be, of course, owning that quality. So one who is all powerful, all knowing, all knowledgeable, who is willing, his will, there is no end. So he is showing this perfect art in them. So that program put into those eggs, or those seeds, or the human beings, You mentioned, Emin abi, the twins. So they are in the mother womb, how they are distinguished coming from the almost identical egg. So it shows the one who is giving all attributes to human beings or the animals and the plants. It shows the creator. So we are, in fact, what we mention here is our observation. We are observing it and we are making a reasoning. So to what we can attribute those perfect arts. Yeah. So nothing can own these other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing can be able to own these perfect creation other than the creator of everything. Yes. Shall we continue the third? Emin abi, would you like to read?
Okay. The third, the emergence and unfolding of those countless creatures in their hundreds of thousands of different shapes and forms, each of which is a miracle of wisdom. Their emergence from eggs and drops of water called sperm that are identical with each other or closely resemble each other and are limited and finite in number, all this in the most orderly, symmetrical, and unfailing fashion, is so brilliant as truth as to be illuminated with proofs and evidences as numerous as the animals themselves. By the consensus of these three truths, all the species of animals are engaged together in testifying that there is no God, there is no there is no God but He. It is as if the whole earth, like a great man, were saying, "There is no God but He," in a manner befitting its vastness and conveying its testimony to the dwellers of the heaven. The traveler saw this and understood it perfectly. In expression of these truths, we sat in the seventh degree of the first station.
We can read it at the end of
Okay,
and then our discussion. So the third aspect of the miraculousness, the creation of animals. We can discuss this part. In fact, we discussed. You mentioned, Emin abi, being identical, the human twins or the animals. We discussed it. But if there is any other comment over this topic, we can get it, inshallah. So the Allah Ta'ala is creating animals, the birds, so from the eggs, so egg and human cell, the first cell, what we call sperm, and the egg coming from the female. So these are all very miraculous acts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, Said Nursi, he is mentioning in the following pages of the supreme sign, Ismi Fattah, the opener. He is opening life. He is opening this life and spiritual beings. So from the lifeless elements, from the lifeless particles. So this is this opening. It's a miraculous action. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is showing in front of our eyes so clear. So from the seeds, we are observing the plants, and from the eggs, the animals, some animals, and from the fluid, so many of the animals, mammals. So this act of creation of the living beings from the lifeless particles, it's the art of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is so clear in front of our eyes, but we are unable to grasp what it is, how it is happening, how they are given spirit. And the spirit is a, immaterial thing. It's an abstract thing, spirit. So merging spirit and physical body, it's a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in Surah Al-Waqi'ah the death of a person. For example, if I remember it, نحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that the person who is dying, so the body is there, but there is no spirit there. So the dead person. So is it possible to return back the spirit to the body? It is impossible for us. It is the art of Allah. No one can imitate the art of Allah in that respect. So we're unable to give life to the lifeless corpses. So if the time for that person is ended, so it is the art of Allah. He is giving life to anything, and He is taking life. So this is the art of Allah, the miracle of Allah, giving life to the inanimate beings, inanimate particles. So it is, showing the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, any comment over this meaning? So they are so intermingling one another, the animals.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Alaikum salam.
My question is, when someone dies, his soul comes out, right? Like,
Yeah.
So we are told that the person hears, but he cannot speak. So how could we explain this? Because I think that hearing, touching, smelling are connected to the soul, but when he dies, soul is out. But we are told he can hear. Here's the last person living at the Pakistan. How do you explain that, sir?
Can you ask your question? Your voice is so coming vague, not clear. Hamza brother, can you maybe you can get closer to the microphone? I really couldn't get your voice so clearly. Can you make it again, please?
My question is that when someone dies,
yes,
his soul, because death is explained that the soul leaving the body, right?
Yes.
But we are told that the dead body does hear the touch, because when we are making ghusl of the dead body, we're not supposed to hurt them. And we also, when we, after burial, when we're leaving the Kabristan, the body does hear the last person leaving, but the soul is already out. And I do think that touching and hearing and also every sense of the body is connected to the soul, but now the soul has left the body. So how do you explain this situation when the dead body can hear, but he can't speak? Yet the soul is out already.
In fact, it's off the topic, but in the narrations of Rasulullah, the dead person, the spirit of the dead person is till the burial, till the burying the body in the qabr. So it's moving together with the body, but not inside of the body, but moving next to the body. So the spirit can hear the voices of the people who are crying and so on. So till the burial, it comes with the body. When you bury the body in the qabr, so the life of qabr, what we call intermediate realm, is starting. So according to the what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for that person, according to the condition of the person, can be free or it can be chained Allah knows, of course, that part. But so here the topic, our topic is giving life to the particles. I mentioned how Allah SWT is merging the spirit and life with the body. So this is it is so in front of our eyes, happening so in great abundance, but we human beings are not able to explain this. So this is the art of Allah. This is giving life to the lifeless particles. It is the art of Allah. So we are unable to explain it. The non-believers, for example, the non-believers, they are explaining the life as an energy, the life, the spirit, like an energy. It is coming, and when the person died, it is going out, or that body. They are explaining like that, but we believe that, as Allah SWT is mentioning in the Quran, قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي, it is something from the from the creation of Allah SWT. It's an amr. We can express it as a thing, act of Allah SWT, the creation of Allah SWT. He is making it with the body, the spirit. Then the time is over. So Allah is taking the spirit from the body. So this is, Brother Hamza, maybe we can discuss it another time, the conditions of that person in the narrations of the hadith. It is mentioned in detail. Inshallah, we can discuss it in another discussion. But here we are discussing the how Allah SWT is giving life to the lifeless particles. They are created from eggs, drops of water, so perfectly, in perfect manner, in perfect balance. So this is the proof of Tawhid. So they are saying with their tongue of disposition and tongue of their own tongue, what we call body language, or their tongue, the birds, they are saying La ilaha illallah. So all the animals, they are testifying that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this art is continuously created in front of our eyes. We are observing in our body. We are observing it in our environment. So this is a so clear aspect of the Tawhid. Sayyid Nursi is also defining giving life is a so powerful proof of the Tawhid, opening life from the lifeless particles, with the name of Allah, Ism Fattah. So he is the opener. He is the opening eggs, giving life to the eggs. So they are in fact lifeless. Or every day we are eating eggs. So they are apparently cannot grow life, but Allah SWT is creating from the lifeless particles, a perfect act of life. Yes, any other comment over this topic? If not, we can continue. Namir brother, can you read this ending part? There is no God but Allah. The top of the page.
The top of the page?
Yeah, there is no God but Allah.
La ilaha illallah, to whose necessary existence in unity points to the consensus of all animals and birds that praise Allah Ta'ala and bear witness to Him with the word of their senses, their faculties and powers, words well balanced, ordered and eloquent, with the words of their limbs and members, words perfect and persuasive, and by the testimony of the sublimity of the comprehensiveness of the truth of bringing into being, making and creating according to will, the truth of distinction and decoration according to purpose, and the truth of proportioning and forming according to hikmah, wisdom. Definite, too, is the indication given by the truth of the opening of all of their orderly distinct, variegated, and infinite forms out of identical or similar eggs and drops of sperm that are finite and limited.
Yes.
The meditative voyager, the meditative traveler.
If there is no other comment over this animals, the proof of Tawhid on the animals, the birds, so we can pass to the next degree of the Tawhid.
Maybe one thing, Jazmiabi.
Yes.
You said there's an ayah about the ruh is from the amr of Allah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think there's one ayah that distinguishes to Allah belongs the amr and where one is the command, the other is the creation, right? I think.
Yeah. So Amr, what we understand, Amr, قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. So all the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for example, the law of gravity, it's also a kind of Amr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is creating. So the gravity, he's creating gravity, and he is making everything act according to that law. So of course, he is the giver of the power. So he is giver of everything. But he has put the law. He has put the law. So this is a kind of. It's also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling in this way. So you may not understand this.
Yes,
it's
because
beyond,
we have given very little knowledge about ruh. Yeah.
So it's beyond our capacity. We are unable to grasp it. And even right now with our technology at this 21st century, we cannot understand how the life is coming, how the spirit is created in the mother womb, in the animals, from the lifeless particles in the eggs, how the life is created. So we are unable to grasp this. So Allah SWT is defining that it's beyond your capacity. It's a creation from the side of Allah SWT. So we are observing it so clearly. So it is created. Allah SWT is creating from the lifeless particles, lifeless elements, so atoms, the life. It is created there in the very in front of our eyes. It's happening.
So
Yes.
Can we say that sort of through this amr that my ruh has sort of control over the particles of my body, and these bodies are kind of subjected to what I will them to move, so on and so forth.
Yes, our bodies like a house for the spirit. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the spirit of the human being, so a place to stay, but it is a perfect merging. So in the dream, in the narrations, and we feel it maybe with some experiences, the spirit can leave the home, the body, in the dream and while sleeping. But of course, its speed is beyond our capacity. So when we are awake, it's coming so quickly. We say that I saw these, and so we are unable to finish it when what we see in the dreams. Yes.
Oh yes.
It's beyond our understanding what is dream. The science cannot explain it also. Yes.
Maybe somebody else can continue.
Yes.
I think I have to go somewhere or eat. Yeah.
Errol abi, would you like to read? I saw Errol abi microphone is open, so we can make you read, Ali abi or Ali abi, if you are available.
Yes, but I have just joined. Where were we? He saw that in the hand of each of those teachers? No.
Yeah, we are at the top of it, the meditative voyager.
Sorry.
Yeah,
yes. Yes.
discussed the
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
animals. Yes, we discussed the animals, then we will continue, inshallah, with the next, inshallah, degree of Tawhid.
That
Human
meditative voyager, in order to advance further in the infinite degrees and countless luminous stages of knowledge of Allah, then wished to enter the world of man, the realm of humanity. That meditative voyager, in order to advance further in the infinite degrees and countless luminous stages of knowledge of Allah, then wished to enter the world of man, the realm of humanity. Humanity, headed by the prophets, invited him, and he accepted the invitation. Looking first at the stopping place of the past, he saw that all the prophets, peace and blessings be upon them, salam, the most luminous and perfect of humankind, were reciting in chorus.
Yes, chorus.
No, sorry?
Yeah, chorus. Yeah.
Chorus. No God but He, and making remembrance of Allah. With the power of their brilliant, well-attested and innumerable miracles, they were proclaiming Allah's unity, and in order to advance men from the animal stage to angelic degree, they were instructing men and summoning them to believe in Allah. Kneeling down in that school of light, he too paid heed to the lesson. He saw that in the hand of each of those teachers, the most exalted and renowned of all celebrated human beings, there were numerous miracles bestowed on them by the creator of all beings as a sign confirming their mission. Further, a large group of men, a whole community, had confirmed their claims and come to believe at their hands a truth assented to and confirmed by these hundreds of thousands of serious and veracious individuals unanimously and in full agreement, was bound to be firm and definitive. He understood too that the people of misguidance, in denying a truth, attested and affirmed by so many veracious witnesses, were committing a most grievous error. He understood too that the people of misguidance, in denying a truth, attested and affirmed by so many veracious witnesses, were committing a most grievous error, indeed crime, and were therefore deserving of a most grievous punishment. He recognized, by contrast, those who assented to the truth and believed in it as being the most true and righteous, and a further degree of the sanctity of belief became apparent to him. Yes, the infinite miracles bestowed by Allah on the prophets, peace be upon them, each one being like a confirmation of their mission, the heavenly blows dealt to their opponents, each being like a proof of their truthfulness, their individual perfections, each one being like an indication of their righteousness, their veracious teachings, the strength of their faith, a witness to their honesty, their supreme seriousness, and readiness to self-sacrifice, the sacred books and pages held by their hands, their countless pupils who, through following their paths, attain truth, perfection, and light, thus proving again the truthfulness of the teachings, the unanimous agreement of the prophets, those most earnest warners, and their followers in all positive matters, their concord, mutual support, and affinity, all of this constitutes so powerful a proof that no power on earth can confront it, and no doubt or hesitation can survive it. Our traveler understood further that inclusion of belief in all the prophets, peace be upon them, among the pillars of belief represents another great source of strength. Our traveler understood further that inclusion of belief in all the prophets, peace be upon them, among the pillars of belief represents another great source of strength. Thus, he derived great benefit of faith from their lessons, in expression of which we said in the 8th degree of the first station, there is no God but Allah, to the necessity of whose existence in unity points the unanimity of all the prophets through the power of their luminous miracles that both affirm and are affirmed.
So this is humanity. So Sayyid Nursi, he is not mentioning the creation of humanity, because it's mentioned in the animal part. Our creation and animals are more or less very similar, but here another aspect of humanity. So we are created as human beings, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent to guide the humanity, the prophets, so the leaders of the humanity. So every species has a leader. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for every species a leader. So for the humanity, who is leading the humanity? So humanity has been led by the prophets. So he is, Sayyid Nursi, he is taking this aspect, the nubuwah, what we call the prophethood. So they have come, so in the narrations of the Rasulullah SAW, it is 120,000 prophets Allah has sent to guide the humanity. So and they became a perfect proof for the Tawhid. So the most luminous perfect of humankind. So they have been in not only in the good conduct, they have been an example. So they also in materially in the material progress, they have been an example for the humanity with their miracles. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown us the prophets like as a guide to us. Both spiritual and material progress has been headed by the prophets. So foremost, of course, the spiritual progress here is the focus, because the humanity is not like animals. We are put into a test. So for the test, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a guide to guide us to the straight path. Yes, Sayyid Nursi, he is by kneeling down in that school of light, the light given by the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the prophets. So the lesson he has got from the prophets. So each of them, they are the prophets. They became a proof of themselves. In fact, with their good character, with their higher virtues among the humankind. So they have been a light, so for themselves also. Yes, what they claimed is also proved by their good character in their lives. Yes, they have unanimously in full agreement. They became a proof of Tawhid. Yesterday, we discussed this matter also in our yesterday night lesson. Yes, regarding this point, the prophethood, the prophets, they are becoming a proof of Tawhid. What do you think? What do you have any point to share with us?
Perhaps we can remember the reality given in Fatiha, in the shining proof, the 15th race. Only 4 class of mankind is reminded in Fatiha. Each believer who performs the 5 daily prayers remembers the 4 class of mankind: Anbiya, Siddiqin, Shuhada, and Salihin. To remember them, I think, awakens to follow them.
Yes.
Seventh phrase, the path of those who have blessed. In 69 verse An-Nisa suresi of the Prophet. Yes.
This ayah lists of the four classes of mankind, human beings who have received the bounty of right guidance. The prophets indicates the head of the prophets, Rasulullah alayhi salam, the leader of the four classes, the sincere of lovers of the truth, the Siddiqeen, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Ustad is mentioning the leaders of these four groups also. Yes. The secondly part, Ali Abi, you want to focus especially?
Yes.
The truth divine, or the truth of divine unity, which these most elevated, most true and rightly guided four classes of mankind, human beings, have taught with all their strength since the time of Adam, with innumerable proofs, miracles, wonders, evidences, and illuminations, and whom the majority of mankind, human beings, have affirmed is most certainly as definite as the sun. With their hundreds of thousands of miracles and proofs, these preeminent members of human beings have proved their veracity, their sidq, truthfulness, and their consensus and agreement in positive matters, such as divine unity and the Creator's necessary existence, forms such a proof it can in no way doubted. They are the straightest and the most veracious and verified of guides, and the leaders in perfection among mankind, and man is the most important result of the universe. The vicegerent, so we are human beings created as divine vicegerent, Khalifa Ard, on earth, and all living creatures, the most elevated and with the most comprehensive capacity. Those, therefore, who do not recognize the truth upon which those four classes have unanimously agreed, and deny the truth in which they believed unshakably with absolute certainty. So this is haqq al-yaqeen, vision of certainty, ayn al-yaqeen, and knowledge of certainty, ilm al-yaqeen, in proof of which they put forward the universe together with all its beings. Such deniers surely perpetrate an infinite crime, are deserving infinite punishment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the prophets as the leaders for the humanity. So their way is showing us a clear proof for the Tawhid, or La ilaha illallah. Yes, any comment or this proof of prophethood?
Just adding to the last part.
Yes, brother.
That from a traditionalist perspective, on top of all these crimes, the disbeliever would never believe, even if they were given eternity. So this is within the knowledge of Allah Ta'ala, and therefore infinite punishment is justified. This is from a traditionalist the mufassirin of this topic.
Yes, Nemi brother. I couldn't catch the last words. Can you make it again?
Oh, that from a traditionalist, interpretation of why disbelievers deserve infinite punishment, on top of what is mentioned here, is also that Allah Ta'ala knows that those who deserve infinite punishment would not have believed even if they were given eternity, even if they were given infinite time.
Yeah. So every human being has been given the chance of winning
Yes.
an eternal happiness, has been created on the capacity. Yeah. So we're given the capability of winning an eternal happiness, but some of the human beings are evaluating this opportunity. So some are losing that. So of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is all knowing, but He is leaving it to our free will. He knows, of course, who is winning and who is not winning, but we are choosing the way we are taking with our own free will, and He gives us opportunity. Winning or losing is up to us. But we want the success. We want, of course, winning. We are not winning deservedly. We are winning with the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, He is the creator of everything. Yes.
Is this recorded?
Yes.
Would it be on YouTube?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Brother Nabi, I have a question. It's Danny here.
Yes, Danny, brother, we are listening to you.
I think if we go back to the page 141, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's stated there that it's about the humanity. When we talk about the humanity, I recall about the civilization, yeah, and it's also stated there that actually one of the mission of the prophethood is actually to transform humanity to progress, yeah, from animal to angelic beings, yeah. I mean to advance themselves both of spiritually and intellectually to the better to the better level. But actually, if I look into the evidence we find in this modern age, the most advanced civilization is actually the secular, the civilization that declared themselves as a secular and atheist, yeah, like the Scandinavian countries, like the Finland, like Sweden. They declare themselves as an atheist and secular countries. Contrary to this one, on the other way around, the Muslim countries actually is part of the third world countries for now. So can we get like an insight behind this fact? Yeah, why it can happen? Because we Muslims, we have prophet, we have Sharia, we have a spiritual path, but actually we left behind in the civilizations to those countries that declare themselves as an atheist and secular, like the Scandinavian countries I mentioned before. So I think it's a good discussion. Yeah. If it's not off the topic, thank you. Maybe that's only my question.
So it comes to my mind. Abis can also help that part. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala values in our creation. So what's our aim of creation? This is very important. Why we are created. So what is the essential matter in the creation of human beings? So this is, I think, it is the focus here. So the evaluation of the true humanity. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving importance to human beings. Materially, physically, we are nothing. We are not different from the animals. What makes us different from the animals? So it comes to my mind some aspects. So Sayyid Nursi, he is explaining this meaning in the 23rd word while explaining the tafsir of the Surah At-Tin. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So through the light of Iman, human beings rises to the highest of the high and acquires a value worthy of paradise. And through the darkness of unbelief, he descends to the lowest of the low and falls to a position fit for hell. So this is one aspect. So with Iman, a person, a human being, becomes a real human being. So at the fourth point also, Said Nursi, he is making a distinguishing, differentiating the human beings and the animals. Belief makes human beings into man, so a real human being. Indeed, it makes human beings into a king, sultan, the sultan over all animals. Since this is so, human beings' basic duty is belief and supplication. Unbelief makes man into an extremely impotent beast. So these are the aspects it comes to my mind. So there are many points to share regarding, for example, in the of course, Brother Danny, you are asking the part, for example, the non-believers, they are in great numbers. At the same time, they are very well developed, in terms of, But if we really search for in their technologically, the secularist people, technologically they are advanced, but do they really experience happiness? So this is the very general question. What is the aim in the life, without distinguishing the religion? So a normal person, what is the aim in the life? The happiness, correct? To be happy.
Yeah,
So
correct.
we should ask this question: are you really happy? So what is real happiness? So we should maybe ask this question. So the real happiness can be really achieved with knowing the Creator, because we are coming to this world for a temporary life, a very, very short life. In fact, we are given on earth to pass. Then we are going to grave. So it is the last station or the beginning? So these are the questions. So we should answer. So Quran is answering these questions. So it is not the end, but it is the real beginning. Quran is teaching us. So Allah SWT is giving us good tidings for the believers. So we came to here for a test. So we are created for an eternal realm, but we are going to eternity. But in the previous sessions, we discussed the matter you said now. The in one hadith, if I am not wrong, or a meaning in the Quran, al-haqqu ya'lu wa la yu'la alayh. The haqq, the truth, is higher, cannot be defeated. But Muslims apparently defeated, lower than the secular people, physically, in terms of economical conditions and the standard of the life. But Said Nursi, he is, while explaining that truth in the gleams, if I am able to find it in the gleams, we discussed that matter. Al-haqqu ya'lu wa la yu'la alayh. So the haqq in the hand of the secular people is the haqq Allah SWT has given to humanity. The believers, they couldn't hold it in their hands, and it passed to them. So what they hand in their hands, the truth, it is given by Allah. They are sticking to the laws of Allah SWT has put in the creation. There are two kinds of law: the law of creation, the law of kalam. It is what we call sharia. It is coming from the sifat, the attribute of speech, the sifat kalam. The second law is the law of creation Allah has put in the creation. When a person sticks to the law of creation, awamir takwiniya, what we call, so he becomes successful without discriminating. The religion, Allah SWT is giving success to whoever who is hardworking. He is making an effort. So if they hand in their hands, if they hold in their hands the truth, this is the truth given by Allah SWT. This is the success given by Allah SWT because of their efforts. So if I am able to find it, we can read, but it's a long topic. In 4 aspects, Sayyid Nursi is discussing the matter. So they are sticking to a name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we become in that aspect unsuccessful. So we are they are holding a truth in their hands, but it is belonging to the haq. It's belonging to a meaning of asma ilahiyya. So again, haq is higher, it's not defeated, but you know, wal aqibatu lil muttaqin, you know the meaning of it. The end, al aqiba, is the ones who are God conscious, who are who has taqwa, who knows Allah, and who are God conscious, God mindful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defining is that the end is the believers. The end, you know, the one who is smiling at the end is so the one who is successful. So we came to this world not for technology. Allah doesn't want from us technology, but it's a means. It's a means for understanding also the bounties of Allah. But aim of our creation is knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But yes, so this what you asked, that aspect, it comes to my mind. So we can hold it. We should hold it in our hands, because it is also the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It shows the hard working of the secular people, but it's not the aim of our creation. We are not created for that purpose. But if we gain it, we can help people. Of course, it's like a vehicle. The high technology and so on, it's like a vehicle. It's not aim. It's not an essential purpose. But it's a means, like like the technology, using the means, so to go on our aim. Yes. If I find
To
it.
add to this discussion, there's a hadith which the gist of this is if the entire world is worth anything to Allah wa Ta'ala, the disbelievers would have not even one drop of water. So to ourselves, the world is very important. But when we orient ourselves to Allah wa Ta'ala, the world is not important anymore.
Thank you. It's very clear, actually. Thank you, brothers. This is very clear. I
Yeah.
think we have to. There is like a great border, between the happiness and the material pleasure. The happiness, actually, no one can feel it unless they have faith. Yeah, they have faith to Allah. But actually, material pleasure can be felt by anyone who go for material things. Yeah, go after the material things. Maybe that's the insight. Thank you a lot.
Yes, brother. We are almost run out of our time. Inshallah, we can end our discussion.